Welcome back. You're watching The Money Show with me, Kavita Thaplial. Now, Indian parents have to be the most vociferous when it comes to advocating the purchase of a house to kids. Now, in the current scenario, however, it may not be a good idea for millennials to buy property as an investment. For self-occupation too, one must consider various factors before committing to a large EMI. Let's welcome on board Pankaj Matpal, MD of the Money Managers, and understand why it makes more sense to rent rather than buy a house. Pankaj, good evening and welcome to the show. So what's your take on this? This is like an ongoing debate forever, to live on rent or to own a house. We all know that when it comes to something that is about your self-consumption where you have to go and live, having your own property makes sense. But then the load of EMI gets on to people. So do you think living on rent can be much more cost effective, at least till the time you've accumulated that amount that's to be used to buy a house?
Kavita, good evening. As you mentioned, there are merits and demerits. See, I'll not say very this thing that only going on rent or living on rent will be a better choice. But yes, in financial sense, if you compare, it makes a better sense. The reason is that across the country, if you see the rental yield, it is around 2.5% to 3% of the cost of property. So if somebody is buying a property worth rupees 1 crore and paying interest on that, borrowing money, paying interest, and comparatively, if you live on rental house and pay rent, which, as I said, 2.5% to 3%, so it will be definitely better choice. But there are other benefits when you buy a house. One is that sense of security, emotional attachment. So those are different things. But yes, as I mentioned, in financial sense, it is better to live on a rental house. So as I mentioned, first is cost effectiveness. Second thing is you have more flexibility. When you live in a rental house, you have choice to move whenever required. See, people who are in such jobs where they may be relocated from time to time. So it is a better choice that they live in a rental house and can move easily. Don't need to sell the house and then buy another house, and which is not even possible easily. Second thing, within the city also, for example, in a city like Mumbai, if you change your employment and live means little far from your workplace, so maybe that some point of time you may think of living nearer to your office, or you change your employment. Again, you don't need to you need to change your house. So that is possible when it's a rental accommodation. So flexibility is there, is cost effective, and maintenance is not your responsibility. Because when you own a house, it is your responsibility to maintain the house. Otherwise, when you are living in a rental house, it is the responsibility of the landlord. So that is another benefit. So considering these facts, I will say that living in a rental house may be definitely better. But as I mentioned earlier, that buying a own house has its own benefits, as I said, emotional attachment or sense of security. So one should consider that what suits them.
We'll come back to this topic. In the meantime, Pankaj, there's this news coming on from small savings schemes. Okay, so the interest rates are revised as it was expected, because every quarter we see these rates being revised. Okay, so now it seems there is a 10 PPS increase in July to September for 1 year time deposit. Interest rates have been revised and increased for 2 years time deposits, and 5-year recurring deposits has been increased to 30 BPS, 10 BPS for 1 year time deposit, and 2-year time deposit again 10 BPS, and 5-year is 30 BPS, 5-year recurring deposit. All on expected lines, or you were expecting more schemes to be a part of this?
Definitely, like a senior citizen saving scheme or PPF. Senior citizen savings scheme, I'll say that in last means in the month of April, the rate was revised to 8.20, which is quite attractive. But PPF, I was expecting, because in last quarter also the rate was not revised. So this time also, as you mentioned, you did not mention about PPF, so I'm expecting that it is not revised. So which should have been. So and scheme like Sukanya Samriddhi.
So, Pankaj, that has not happened. I've just got the list. So, PPF remains at 7.1. National Savings Certificate is steady at 7.7. Monthly Income Account Scheme is 7.4, and Senior Citizen Savings Scheme is at 8.2. 5 years recurring deposit from 6.2 has gone up to 6.5%, and 5-year time deposit from 7, it's the same, 7.5. And so yeah, the increase is basically on 1-year time deposit, 2-year time deposit, and the recurring deposit for 5 years. So even the Kisan Vikas Patra remains the same, 7.5 for 115 months.
Yeah.
So Kanya Samriddhi also the same. Yeah.
Yeah, but PPF especially, I'll say that I think government wants to make it less attractive now, because in the last quarter as well as this quarter, the rates have not been revised. And 7.10, though returns are tax free, that is a good thing about PPF. But always we have seen that PPF used to offer attractive interest rate compared to other products. But right now, if you see, if you do not consider the tax benefit and tax free returns, that 7.10% for a long-term deposit compared to your 5-year time deposit. So in that sense, I'll say that I was expecting, and because PPF, almost everyone in India tries to contribute in that, and try to open account.
Yeah.
So that is little bit
So
means I
that's
think that
so that's not touched upon. That's not touched upon. This is the quarter July to September that we are seeing. The interest rates on small savings schemes, on specific schemes, have gone up. Within that is your 1-year time deposit, 2-year time deposit, and 5-year recurring deposit. The rests are unchanged. It remains the same even for the quarter starting from July to September. Now, having said that, Pankaj, it makes sense to park in money in fixed deposit if someone is of the view of going towards small saving, and if you want a similar feature or an investment instrument of similar feature, fixed deposit makes much more sense.
See, you have to compare interest rate. If you're comparing with the public sector banks, they're also offering around 7.5 only, which is comparable with these time deposits. And the good part about small saving scheme, that these are sovereign schemes, means your full amount has government guarantee. So like when you invest in bank, when you open deposits in banks, you always talk about that 5-year, 5 lakh insurance cover on your deposit. But here, whatever amount you invest in post office, in any small saving schemes, these schemes are backed by government guarantee. So in that sense, I'll say that people should still invest in these schemes. But rates wise, I'll say that if you compare with the banks, except only small finance banks, so banks interest rate and these small finance banks are almost same.
That's about small savings scheme and information that's just come in, but we have to move on and address our viewers' queries also. And Pankaj, we have our first viewer on phone line with us. Nishit Rastogi wants to ask his question. Hi Nishit, good evening. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for sending us your query.
Hello, yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good, thank you. Okay, so your investment horizon is for 25 to 30 years. Your goal is 8 to 9 crores, and you have 20 to 30,000 that you want to invest every month, right?
Yes.
Okay. You've also put in some money in HSBC Mid Cap, Aditya Birla Sun Life, Mirae Large Cap, Mirae Tax Saver, and you also have SBI Flexi Cap, and you have 5 lakh in equity direct stocks. Okay. All right. So let's look at this portfolio, Pankaj.
Yeah, see, scheme wise, I'll say that he has good choice and has well diversified portfolio. But the amount what you want to invest and your goal, you said 8 to 9 crore, and amount what you are starting with is smaller one. But I'll say that with time you should increase your investment. Means if you opt for step up SIP, that is always better. At least you can step up with 10%. But that will also not help to achieve this 8 9 crore with the small amount. So from time to time, you have to increase your investment. but scheme wise it's good. Only thing that international fund is missing in our portfolio, and when you have like 25-30 years long investment horizon, you should also have exposure in international funds.
All right. So for the kind of SIP or the amount that he wants to put in, can they be put in the existing portfolio where he has lump sum?
Yeah, exactly, because I do not suggest him to increase schemes. So right now, in the same scheme, you start SIPs.
Nishit, is there anything else you want to ask, Pankaj?
So this amount was invested in over a period of 5 years by SIP.
Got
So
it.
it is not lump sum. So it was stopped
Okay.
for some reason. Now I want to restart. So I should restart with the same fund, or I should change the fund.
Yes, the fund mix in the portfolio looks good according to Pankaj. So maybe you can start, and gradually you might want to increase your SIP amount also. All the best, Nishit. We move on, and all right, this question we'll take via email. Professor Neha from Ranchi has sent her question to us, and the funds that she has in a portfolio. Pankaj, Kotak Flexi Cap, Axis Long Term Equity, Bandhan Tax Saver, UTI Small Cap, Mirai Focused Equity. 20 lakh is the current portfolio value, and she's also doing NPS since last 5 years, and she has her targets lined up very well. 90 lakh after 10 years for first child, 1.5 crore. After 15 years for child education, and 4 crores after 25 years for daughter's marriage, and after 30 years, which is her retirement period, she needs 5 lakhs per month.
Kavita, can you tell me how much she's investing regularly now?
Right now she is investing 6,000. Okay, this is coming to around 25.
So definitely means the amount is not sufficient. So scheme wise, she has flexi cap, she has focus fund. So allocation is good, but 25,000 with 25,000 rupees achieving these all goals will be very difficult. So from time to time, you will have to increase your investment. See, mutual
Around
funds do not offer
30,000
guaranteed.
she's investing. Around 30,000 she's investing. 20 lakh she says that she has accumulated, and 25,000 in NPS since last 5 years. And she can spend 15,000 more.
Yeah, so this NPS will be good for her retirement for long term, but because she needs that 5 lakh every year in between, then for 2 times, as she mentioned that she wants to have a big amount, 90 lakh and one more such amount. So in such case, I'll say that 25, so 30,000 what she investing, 15 she can add. And I'll say in this scheme only like flexi cap she has in her portfolio, she can increase that SIP amount. And again, Kavita, I think that because I don't have a question with me, so small cap fund does she have in her portfolio?
Just go through that. Yeah, UTI small cap is there, and small cap exposure again is through Kotak Flexi Cap.
Yeah. So Kotak Flexi Cap does not have much exposure in small cap, and UTI small cap means is not a good recommendation. Means I will not recommend that fund right now. So in small cap, either SBI small cap or Nippon India small cap fund can be considered. When she increasing the amount, she can invest in such schemes.
Okay. Let's move on to our next viewer's question, which is also an email from Krishan Singh. Do you have his query on you, Pankaj?
No, again, Krishan Singh, I don't have.
Okay, I'll just call out the fund.
One Shinde, TK Shinde is there. If that K stands for Krishnan, then I don't know.
Okay. No, it's Krishan Singh's question. And okay, so he has UTI Nifty 50 Index Fund, Nippon Small Cap, ICICI Pru Flexi Cap, ICICI Pru Small Cap, SBI Magnum Mid Cap, Quant Active, and HDFC Small Cap. So he has three small cap funds. One flexi cap, one index, one mid cap, and one is quant active. And the corpus that he wants to accumulate is 1.5 crores in 12 years. Right now, the SIP amount is 25,000 in these funds.
Yeah. So here the things are looking good, very good.
Okay.
25,000 rupees he invests in 15 years, 1.5 crore the target. So that looks achievable. And second thing, scheme wise, as you can see here, he has flexi cap, he has quant active fund, which is a multi cap fund, a small cap fund, and mid cap fund. All means diversified, and across the market cap, he has exposure. But still, I'll say that because 15 years is a long time period, from time to time, investment should be increased. But as he wants to accumulate 1.5 crore in 15 years with this 25,000 rupees per month investment, that looks possible.
Right, we move on, and the next viewer is on the phone line with us, Gajendra from Mumbai. Gajendra, good evening. How are you doing?
Good, ma'am.
Thank you so much for sending us your question. Okay, so how can we help you?
Yeah, ma'am. Right now I have a SIP with Kotak Flexi Cap. It's around 8,000 rupees.
Flexi cap or multi cap?
It's a standard multi cap.
Okay. Okay. You have Kotak
And
multi cap, you have Mirasset large cap, you have ICICI Pro equity and debt,
Financial.
HDFC small cap, you have Kotak emerging equity.
Yes.
What is the total SIP amount?
It's around it's 28,000.
28,000. Okay. You have a good risk appetite, you said. And for how long you want to continue investing?
Till at least 60. I mean, next 20 years.
More 20 years. What's the target that you want to achieve?
That I have not set, but every year I am stepping up with at least 10%.
All right. So let's look at the fund mix. Pankaj, you want me to repeat the funds or you have the question on you?
No, I have this question with me,
Sure, okay.
fortunately, and all the funds are good. He has large cap, Mira said large cap fund, Kotak standard multi cap, across the market cap exposure is there. Then some exposure in debt also through ICICI Prudential Equity and Debt Fund. HDFC Small Cap Fund is good fund in this category. So, and Kotak Emerging Equity, which is a large and mid cap fund. So, Kotak Emerging Equity, which is a mid cap fund. So, he has good mix of funds. And as you mentioned, see 20 years with 28,000 per month, assuming 12% CAGR. And as you mentioned that you will step up by 10% every year. In 15 years itself, you can accumulate around 2.32 crore. And in next 5 years, we are saying 20 years, something around 3 crore rupees you can expect with this investment. So 12% CAGR and step up of 10%, you can expect around 3 crore rupees with this.
All right. So that's the solution for you, Gajendra. Thank you so much for sending us your query. And with that, Pankaj, thank you so much for being on the show and helping our viewers with their financial portfolio today.